In Gotham, a watchful protector of the night looks over his city. Later on, a kid is skateboarding, and then he's joined by his friends. They begin to tell stories of their encounters with Batman, each one crazier than the other. The first kid starts at the docks, where he runs into a monster. All of a sudden, a devilish Batman attacks and saves him. The kids might be exaggerating a little. Batman morphs into the ground, but the monster throws a bomb and disappears, leaving Batman hissing away. The next girl starts her own story. She recalls skating through the city till she's caught by a cop. Suddenly, a rocketman lands in the middle of the streets and starts stirring up trouble. He grabs an innocent lady and flies, but a bat chases him and intercepts him in midair before saving the woman. The man tries to get away, but the winged monster gets him and slams him into the floor before launching a time bomb away and decapitating him. Again, the kids might be making it up. What really happened was that the bat kept chasing the man until it pounded him all the way to the river. The man shoots it, but the bat launches him into the water and then flies away. It appears that both stories were connected, a continuation one after the other. Another kid says that he doesn't believe them and saw the real Batman in real life. He was on top of a tower when there was an explosion and a robbery. The criminal is then interrupted by a giant chopper that a robotic Batman lands down from. The criminal shoots him before threatening to shoot the kid. Batman quickly blasts him before going RoboCop all over him and punches him off the building. The man then grabs a jetpack and flies out of there. Suddenly, the real Batman crashes into the building before a smoke grenade is launched by the bad guy. Before Batman is attacked from behind, one of the little kids saves him. Batman grabs the criminal and thanks the kid before departing. Later on, the police sit around as Batman visits Jim Gordon. They don't seem too happy about it before they're called in. Batman dropped them a gift in the form of Jacob Freely, and the detectives are tasked with taking him back to prison. The detective then voices his mistrust of Batman before leaving. They are driving towards their mission as the detective keeps complaining about Batman, but his partner believes in him. They reach the asylum and it's filled with crazies. They drop him off and leave. The detective wants to leave because of Batman's involvement with the police, but his partner disagrees. Suddenly they find some gang activities, but they're outnumbered by a mile. It's a gang war between two turfs and a big shootout begins with them in the middle. The gangs whip out a rocket launcher and fire, but Batman saves the detective before swooping in. The detective is in shock and he finds Batman handling business and laying the law on these criminals. One of the criminals finds the detective and grabs her, but Batman walks through the fire, unfazed by what is happening. Her partner joins the standoff, but Batman quickly disarms him before leaving in style. At another event, Bruce Wayne is looking at some high-tech with Lucius Fox. They observe the Batmobile and install some new hardware on it, an EMP pulse that acts like a magnet. They test a shockwave sensor that is strong enough to deflect bullets. Even Bruce Wayne is impressed, but it only works with small bullets. Later on, the press is gathered at an opening of a homeless shelter. Bruce Wayne celebrates by playing golf, as rich as it gets. He talks to Marshall, who is a shady businessman. They continue playing and Bruce uses his new device to launch Marshall's golf club away. Bruce then departs, saying that he has some business, half Russian, half Italian. He's referring, of course, to the mafias he's about to go after. The mob boss is shouting orders at his men, and the boat starts driving itself. It rams into the Russian, but before a fight can begin, Batman lands on their ships, deflecting bullets and kicking asses. Maroni tries to run, but he catches them. He delivers a chill warning but gets shot, and the bullet deflects onto someone else. Batman quickly takes him to the hospital and urges for immediate help. The idiot tries to shoot the police, but Batman intervenes and handles the situation. The next day, Bruce gives up the device because it works too well, and he doesn't want to risk someone else getting killed. Later on, Batman is back patrolling the night. Police arrests a man who has gone insane, and Jim Gordon investigates a church alongside his detectives following a series of abductions. They go down a crypt, and Jim tells them to take a hike. Batman swoops down and tells Jim that Scarecrow is the one behind this. He hands him a communication device and dips into the sewers, where he finds some big-ass footprints. As he continues to investigate, he runs into the homeless and he starts questioning them. They tell him that it's Killer Croc and point him towards his path. Jim tells Batman that Killer Croc was a former patient of Scarecrow's and he has a fear of bats. Suddenly he attacks, but he doesn't seem to be afraid of the bat. Batman is bit and infected with the fear toxin, but he works through it, making Killer Croc breathe fire. Batman is now seeing things from the toxin as he finds Scarecrow with his goons of inmates. Batman saves an innocent soul before going solo on the goons and beating them in slick fashion. He grabs the man and grapples out of there, but he gets shot. He blows up the ceiling, flooding the place and making it fall apart. He goes on a ride through the sewers and once again grapples his way to safety. Batman hands over the injured man and jumps off, finishing his mission for the night. Later on, we see a couple of gunshots as an armed man runs away in fear before he is attacked by bats. Batman is bleeding after getting shot, and he looks to be in terrible condition before closing his wound. We then shift to Bruce's memory of treating people after volunteering for relief efforts. A man is in agony as they're working on his open stomach without any anesthetics. Batman then climbs out of the sewers before slipping and crashing all the way down. This isn't his night. He has another flashback. This time, he's in India, or something, watching a snake strangle a mouse. He wants to be trained by the fakirs, but they reject him because he's not honest. A man redirects him to a lady who could help him, and she asks him why she should train him. He tells her that he's looking for a way to deal with his pain. We go back to the present time, and he calls Alfred for help. In his flashback, the lady lectures him about pain while standing on hot rocks. They continue his seminars as he gets used to pain, learning to make it his ally. He is all bruised and bandaged, and he asks her how she has all this knowledge. She was taught by the fakirs, but was banished by them, and abandoned by her family. She was ridiculed by her village before she went away, and shaped her own life outside the village. Back to Batman, he falls down in the middle of the trash and finds guns. Back in his flashback, a bunch of men go after the lady and threaten her. Before they can attack, Bruce intervenes. They strike him, but he isn't fazed. They pull out their knives, but he kung fus around them and beats them all with ease. The final boy runs away in fear, but Bruce finds that the lady is kicking him out. Having learned what he needs, he takes his bag and leaves. Batman finds guns everywhere before Alfred finally finds him. He extends his hand to help him, but Batman feels like he has failed this city. After some time, Bruce is remembering the night his parents were murdered. Meanwhile, a hitman is preparing his gun. Bruce is training at home when Alfred presents him with his collection of guns. Bruce says he would never use a gun, but he appreciates them. Meanwhile, Deadshot is preparing to use his gun to assassinate someone. He aims down his sight and fires away. Bullseye. The next day, Deadshot is enjoying his riches away and gets a proposition to return to Gotham and hit the cops. In Gotham, Batman gets information from the police regarding Deadshot. Meanwhile, Jim Gordon leaves the precinct with an escort as he is being targeted. Batman observes the city for any assassination attempts. The convoy continues to move through the city as Batman follows them. Alfred notifies Batman of a potential spot Deadshot could fire from, a moving train. Batman gets there to investigate and flies side by side, but there is another train in the opposite direction. Deadshot plans for this and sets himself up for the perfect shot and fires away, but Batman catches the bullet. He follows after him quickly, but it appears that Batman was the intended target all along. Jim was just the bait. Deadshot opens fire at Batman and he lands on top of the train. Deadshot meets him up there and Batman rushes at him while Deadshot shoots him. Batman is barely hanging on, but Deadshot gets flanked from behind as Batman Air Jordans and takes his gun out. Batman grabs him and he reveals that the Russians issued the hit, then Batman knocks him out, leaving him hanging as a present to the police. Later, on the news, reports of the arrest of Deadshot, as well as Marshall. Bruce thanks Alfred and tells him that it was just like the night of his parents' murder. Bruce wants to give up, but Alfred gives him words of encouragement. Batman's determination returns, as he is called by the city once again. Well, this was a doozy. These were a bunch of storylines that were different in style but were still connected in some way, and a continuation of sorts. It was really fun watching Batman in the Japanese anime style. We got to see him be as violent and unfiltered. The anime went hard. Well, this brings us to the end of today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this one. Your support helps us grow. And tell me what you think about these stories. Did you like seeing multiple connected stories rather than just seeing a long one? Which segment was your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them. And if you're watching till now, thank you. I'll see you in another video soon.